Hello guys, welcome. I am Samantha the Introvert and today I want to give you my personal recap on episode 9 of The X Morning. So let's get into it. Okay, so Potapi is in the office talking to Young and Young is telling Potapi that he can now be the forecast prince again since Trinat is not working with them anymore and also they took Trinat's face off the billboard. But while that conversation is going, Tamtawan is outside the office door hearing this. But we're not sure, well, sorry, we didn't hear what Patapi's response was. Anyways, they're at a place doing an interview with a fisherman, and I find it very strange to see Young there, even Nodi and Kauki. Notice how strange it is. So, because of that, Nudie and Kaoki thinks that it's a farewell day and that they heard a rumor that Patopi will be leaving, and Tamtawan is there and he heard them. Tamtawan told them not to worry because he believes in Patopi and that Patopi will never leave them. Then Patopi came and he can tell something is wrong with Tamtawan, but Tamtawan will not tell Patopi. Now they are even more suspicious because now Young booked an expensive hotel. It must definitely probably will feel like a farewell. As Potter P and Tamtoan got to their room and saw the decoration, Potter P said it's like they have their own little honeymoon. And again, even though Tamtoan shows he's excited, he really can't hide his feelings because Potter P knows his man and he knows when he feels down. But when Tamtawan tries to explain what is fully bothering him, Patapi got a call from Young to come get food. They're preparing and enjoying their food, and both Patapi and Tamtawan noticed how happy Young is and stated it must be the newcomer at work and talked about the relationship. Meanwhile, Nudie is sad and mood. Then Nudie, acting like a baby, shouted that she believes Young is acting and treating them is because they will end soon and go their separate ways. But Young said it's not true, but also will not tell why they took him on a trip or why he decided to join the interview when he never did before. Then Paul came, revealing that he was the one who invited them by telling Young to take them to do their first show at this expensive place. It's basically free because Paul owns the hotel. Paul also said it was best to ask Young because if he had asked Potopi, he knows Potopi would feel bad for taking it, knowing that it may get Tamtawan feeling bad slash jealous. Anyways, since he is the owner of this fancy place, Paul tells Potopi and Tamtawan that if they plan to get married one day, they should come there and do their wedding. Tantawan got jealous of how Paul was acting towards Potopi, and of course Potopi saw and went to talk and smooth things, saying that Paul was just being jokative. Trying to get your baby on good mood or good side when that baby is not in a good mood is not easy, but when you know what your baby loves, it will work. For this case, food is always life, especially when it's your favorite food. Then came Paul to tell them that it was just teasing Tamtawan and that he knows Potapi loves Tamtawan, so he knows he doesn't stand a single chance against Tamtawan. Then we see Young on the phone with his newcomer girlfriend. It seems things are going good with them. Then came Kaoki, who heard how lovely Young is and asked Young why can't he put it in public with their relationship, but Young is afraid people may look at him differently for dating someone younger than him. I admire their friendship. It's not usual to see two ex become friends. It must not have been a bad breakup for them. Then these two in honeymoon phase, and of course the salt scrub Potapi's mother made. Boy, this as is not a sponsored salt scrub thingy, but it got more screen time than the actual sponsored drink. Then Potapi said this whole time the thing that is bothering him is that fisherman and what he said. But because Samtawan wants to not hear about work, he told Patapi to stop thinking and focus on their romantic honeymoon moment. And that surely did work. Later, we see Nudie went to stay in Kaoki's room because she finds it very annoying to hear Young on the phone with his specific someone. Kaoki said that Young is in his honeymoon phase. You know, at this point, everyone is in their honeymoon phase. When I saw the trailer of this drama, I thought I was going to get a GL, but I was wrong. If TV gives us the GL the next episode, I don't want it. Nudie complained to Kaoki that her brother may break it off with his current girlfriend and he has a track of ending relationship and be unhappy. So Kaoki went to check on Jung, who seemed to look like he already got dumped, but he said not yet. But Kaoki told Young to not break up because he didn't try and that his ex lasted longer, which is her. Anyways, Young stated or started to give details on why he wanted to break up with this person, which is basically an excuse. Once Young named those details, Kayake said she was none of those details. Then Young said the reason he was so scared of moving on is because of the deal they made, which is if they are single at the age of 40, they should get back together and get married. And even though the time is seemingly to be closed, and when they made that deal, they were literally making a joke, but still, the moment is slowly creeping and they are still single. So to test if they both still have feelings for each other, they tried to kiss but could not bring themselves to do it because it didn't feel right. Then at night, Patapi, who is still curious on what the fisherman said, decided to sneak away to see at the pier if something or anything suspicious going on, and of course Patapi got caught by Tamtoan. But Patapi let his inquisitive brain took over and Tamtawan has no choice but to follow to ensure his safety. But as they searched the boat, they found money in a briefcase, and at this point, Patapi now knows this is way more than just money. The boat has started to move away from shore and they trying to escape because it's about a matter of time before they even get caught. In the end, they did get caught and the only solution they had was to jump off the boat. Luckily, they both can swim or they would have died both by water or by a gunshot. Anyways, they are on a deserted island. But later Patapi realized he got hurt, which will cause a problem later on. Okay, since they're on the island, they need to figure out a way to survive until rescue comes for them, if rescue do come for them. They walked and found source of food, coconut, but they have not one survival skill in their bones, so they can't get the coconut. Meanwhile, Young and the others who notice both Patapi and Tamtawan are missing are trying to find them. Paul, who sees them, was told that they can't find both Patapi and Tamtawan and told Paul that they were told when they were checking the cameras that they were at the pier last night, but that was the last time they've seen them. Paul told them that he knows the area very well, so he will look for them, and if he finds them, he will let them know. Meanwhile, the two lovers who are lost at somewhere land is trying to survive because it's about to be night and they do not have fire or a place to rest. Society has failed us all, people, because we should have learned how to survive in the wilderness in high school, primary school, any school. Anyways, it's night and they're good, but there's one thing. The one thing they feared was coldness, but I am shocked they are not even being bothered by mosquitoes. But I am curious, who is taking care of Sose while they are trapped on this island? It's the next day and they decided to give this survival shit another chance because hunger has and thirst have hit them real bad. They definitely enjoying their moment at this island. They found coconut and bananas, but that can only last for a certain amount of time. It's not gonna last forever. So I do hope this help that they're searching for do come soon. They master fire and other stuff the next day because let's be honest, they need this. Who knows how long they will be lost in this island? All that left is to do is to catch fish, which is basically the trickiest part of survival. Meanwhile, Penelope found out what has been bothering Tamtawan the entire time, which is Penelope going back to be the forecast prince again and leave him behind. Even though Patapi didn't respond to Tamtawan, this gesture alone let us know that he will never leave Tamtawan because they are Hohana. And Hohana means family, and family means nobody gets left behind. Now, to be fair, they both love each other and drift apart because of this love, but this time love will let them stick together. The next day, and Tamtawan sees Patapi looking pale and he has a fever. And Tamtawan checked on his scratch and Patapi's leg. They found out this scratch has been infected. You see, that's the problem that happened later. This is later. So now, not only are they trapped on an island, Patapi doesn't have medical treatment, which means if he stays any longer without medical treatment, he might die. They started walking around and found a boat, but sadly it's the very same boat that they escaped from. But why is it here? Now some people arrived and they went into a house. But my question is, why is it that they've been there for like 3 days and none of them went far on the island to notice that there was a house? When they saw the boat that arrived and saw chips, well, a chip that they see inside the boat, it's basically a chip that's like a gambling chip that you would find in a casino. Potapi then remembered that the fisherman, who was very drunk, told them that Paul would use a yacht and go on an island. Honestly, I was disappointed and was shocked at first, but now I get it because when I first saw Paul and he did what he did, I was like, so you quit radio broadcasting, which is something that you clearly showed that you love to do business, only to turn out that the money that he's making is not clean money. Because Paul still has respect for their friendship, he made a deal with them. He will help them get back in return for Potter Peter not speak about what he saw and what he found out about him, but seeing that Potter P refused, he has no choice but to kill Potter P. Paul even tells Potter P, like pretty much like guilt tripping him, that he is the reason that their show is even thriving till this day. Hear me out. I find it stupid because why is Paul pointing the gun at Potapi and not focusing on Tamtawan? But Tamtawan then attacked Paul to save Potapi. After finally getting away from Paul, Paul raised his gun but got shot by police who was led by Young. Thank God. But I wonder how Young found them. Was it through the fisherman? But Paul wasn't the only one who got shot. See, because when Paul raised his gun, he did fire the gun at Potapi. Well, Potapi saw that he raised the gun and shielded Tantawan and he got shot. In the end credit scene, Potapi proposes to Tamtawan, and of course Tamtawan said yes. Now, in the next episode, which is pretty much the last episode, I need to see a wedding. Okay guys, that is it for my recap on episode 9 of the X Morning. Stay tuned for episode 10.